It's been a while. Um, it is Thursday, May the 29th, 2014, approximately 3:16 a.m. Oh, sorry, bad teeth. Always have had bad teeth, crooked and extra, Anyway, if you hear that annoying hum machine sound that's coming from outside, there's a mall across the street. It's like it's one of the strip malls from like the 80s, and it's really dying. It lost a flagship store a while ago. Zellers was the last one, but it actually, in my mind, kind of started to die when Sears went way back in the 90s, I think. But it has a grocery store at the other end. It has a few things in there, but it's really, anyway, it's sad. But they do, my partner says that it's some sort of like, sewerage sort of maintenance thing. It happens often. I guess, like, it's a vehicle doing something. I don't know, it's really annoying. I didn't notice it. Like, we've lived here since the end of 2012, and I didn't notice it until a few months ago when we were laying in bed, and I'm like, what's that sound? It's like it's that thing that happens, and I'm like, I never noticed it before. I just took my meds. I know, really, really late, but, I've been, I had a bath late. Look at my hair going white again, because I haven't had it colored in a while, and I think what's going to happen this time is I'm not going to color it. I'm going to let it just continue to grow long, like it's growing long, right? And I'm just going to let it keep growing and keep doing whatever color it's going to do, which seems to be white, because I have other things to worry about. Number one, I'm quite obese right now, and losing the weight would be great for me to do before I really worry about whether my hair is one color or not. Not that it needs to be one color. I think I would feel even better if I'd lost my weight. If I lost weight and my hair was all groovy with the different colors, I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave it. Like, I was never one for coloring my hair until I moved to Toronto, and then I colored my hair, and then after that I felt like that buzzing noise. Okay, so this is an update. I have an appointment tomorrow. It was originally, well, I got the call the day before that saying you have an appointment on the 22nd of July. My birthday is the 25th, and this appointment on the 22nd is for TMI, guys. If you're a kid, or, well, you should learn stuff anyway, but if you're an adult male, and you've had a relationship or whatever, this shouldn't be TMI. I'm gonna get an IUD put in. My first one ever. It's expensive. The prescription was like $400. We have coverage, so it was less. But that plus the pills that I was prescribed for heavy bleeding was like $500 or so if we didn't have coverage. It still costs like $100 and something, which is ridiculous. Not ridiculous. It's just healthcare in Canada is kind of weird. In some places that have healthcare systems, like universal healthcare, they also cover prescriptions, and we don't. So I'm wondering what they would have done in my case if, like, okay, my WSIB, my workers' compensation, which isn't government disability, not that there's anything wrong with that, but if I wouldn't be covered for this specific thing because they like to nitpick over what they'll cover. They would only cover something specifically related to the skin disease or to my mental health, even though you could argue that bleeding to death affects mental health. But because it's not directly connected to the thing that they are paying me for, if I was just on my WSIB right now, I'd be screwed. Well, I wouldn't be screwed, but like, think of that. That's a big chunk out of a monthly income, $400. So what would they have done with me? Like, they weren't giving me very many options. Like, they were saying they really want to avoid doing the surgery, like the hysterectomy. They don't want to do it. They don't want to do anesthesia or whatever. Probably because, well, it's sort of been said because of my weight. Even though people bigger than me have had it, and like my mom's family, there's lots of people that have had hysterectomies, and I've known of people that have had it. But, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, well, if I don't have to have my insides taken out, and that would be good. But anyway, the reason why this is happening so quick, I got this call yesterday that I'm supposed to go tomorrow, like today now, at 12:30 to get the IUD put in, is because they had an opening. They said they would call me if they had an opening, but they probably were just going to see me in July. But they had an opening, so right away, which I was a bit like, it kind of panicked me. It sent me into a panic because I'm like, I have to mentally prepare to go out somewhere, and this is not going to be like a comfy, cozy thing to get done. It's quick, and I hear it hurts when they do it, but then after that, it doesn't hurt. You know, maybe cramping and stuff, but it'll hurt when they do it. But when I compare that to like months of bleeding to death and everything I've had to deal with that, that's okay with me. If this will work, it's a 5-year IUD. So it's the Minura or something like that. I don't know. Wait, I forget. The box is in the other room, and that's so much trouble to get. So I had a blood transfusion on the 23rd, like last Friday. I went in to emerge after my doctor's appointment. I had it planned out that I needed to see my doctor to get a gyno referral to a different gyno because that was an issue. And since the hospital is really close by, my husband and I walked over to the hospital after, and I was so tired. That buzzing, that noise, oh my gosh. Okay, anyway. So I'm like, I was breathing, like, I'd had trouble for a few weeks at least with like my lips going blue-gray, with breathing, exertion, like any sort of exertion, like having a bath like I had, and then getting dressed after, even into nightwear, would be like, I would be like very exhausted. And another thing that developed, this is in between, oh my goodness, sorry. Another thing that developed for me was another thing that happened is that I started getting like I have panic disorder, and I have severe anxiety, and especially about going outside and stuff. But I started getting um, right here, my chest, um, big panic attacks after exertion. So I don't know if it was because of the exerting myself that it spurred on the panic, or if that was just like, I don't know. In the hospital, they said probably because the condition had become chronic. But because my previous transfusion was in March, I had a blood transfusion as well. On the March 19th, I had the blood transfusion. So March 19th, I had a blood transfusion, and then again in May. And I probably could have gone in sooner than I did, but I waited until I pretty much stopped bleeding, because when you're bleeding so heavily and it's really bad, you really don't want to go anywhere. You know, like standing up is creates a mess, and I was just so tired. I was sleeping a lot prior to getting the blood transfusion, like so many times. I'd have to nap, but I would sleep for I'd sleep 4 or 5 times a day, including at night. And after this transfusion, my breathing's better, but and my lips aren't going blue or gray, but I'm still really tired because my hemoglobin was in the 60s, and they only give me 2 bags of blood, and that puts me up 20 points, so I'm in the 80s. Minimum should be 120, so I'm still not good. It's not good. I'm taking iron. My thyroid is increased because they noticed my blood level on that is off, so I'm taking extra, but I'm seeing my doctor on Tuesday, and he'll write the proper prescription so that it reflects the increase in dosage. And he probably wants to see me because of the blood transfusion as well. He cares. Nice follow up, right? So yeah, 2 blood transfusions in the past few months have affected me. I was in group therapy, and I really wanted to do it, but I was missing time. I couldn't leave the house with it so bad. And it's this thing where if you miss 3 in a row, you're out. And I could have done 2 and then dragged my butt for the 3rd one, though I couldn't the last time. I was still bleeding way too much. But if I'd tried to do that pattern, I really just would have been calling it in to the group. I'd missed so many modules and stuff. And even though I took this program before, this program is being taught differently this time, and it's a different experience, and I'm in a different place mentally, not actually physically. I'm in the same building I was before, but I mean, I had to make the decision that I could only focus on this problem right now and not put the extra pressure on myself of the group and the guilt that I would feel missing it and not participating. And what really sucked is that I had a really good friend I could see through it, but Um, so that ended on the 21st, and then the 23rd I got the blood transfusion. So this will decrease my monthly income. Yeah, it wasn't an easy decision. It's not like, but it's never been totally about the money, you know. It's always just try to like, what does it matter if I'm so sick? Like, apparently I was pretty sick. So anyway, I've talked 15 minutes about this. Oh my god. Can't believe it. Sorry. It's like I don't write for a while, and I find it hard to write, which sucks because writing is my thing that I like to do. And I wrote an entry just like on my journal on Tuesday, May 27th. And I started out, rough. And then before you know it, I had like 1,900 words. Yeah. Oh well. So that happened. I was just looking at it. I'm still not like. Oh, and I finally wrote a little bit in my paper journal. This one, the one that was very pretty. I think it's very pretty. The one bought in Venice, Marco Square. I know it's backwards. Sorry. I started it on the 1st of January, and it was going to be at minimum page a day. I was gonna paper journal it up every day, and I haven't written much at all. So when I finally wrote, yes, the 28th. Yeah, the 28th, but it was around this time in the morning, earlier than this in the morning. I wrote a couple pages, which is a start, Now if I could only, this is what I miss. I miss writing in a journal every day, or most every day, tons of pages, anything I wanted, my thoughts, or ramblings, or just to write, meaning it is a bunch of crap of thoughts, like, that are in the dialogue in my head or whatever. I miss that, and I miss posting to my journal my online journal regularly, and trying different things, like, not trying, just writing prosaically, or poetry, or writing in that way and sharing. And I miss sending out postcards and letters, and like lots of postcards. I miss just it coming easy for me, like it being a part of what I would do all the time. I especially miss paper journal. The more you write, and I could write like crappily in my paper journal, although, you'd think that I would write my highest self in here for posterity, but I tend to write a bit better on my online journal. But I just miss it. I miss it. You know? I hope I can do it. But when you don't have the energy for stuff, you know, what can you do? You can't. I just need to be patient and to know that these things that are part of me that I enjoy or that I've always done will come back. Like I have been reading more again. I'm I'm not reading lots, but I'm almost through the second volume of Backwards again, sorry. Right? And her writing is so beautifully descriptive. So descriptive. And she writes insightfully and from a depth, like a instinctual depth that I really enjoy. It's actually, despite how, like, it's not tiny writing, but it's not big huge writing. Despite that, it's really easy to read, and I have so many books I could choose to read, and I want to read. I want to read book after book and enjoy them, and I want to make book videos, but I keep telling myself I have to lose a lot of weight first. I have to get nice bookshelves behind me so that my room doesn't look junky and it looks presentable, and I can have a neat backdrop and do booktube videos, and lots of excuses for not vlogging. Other things that have happened, if you're still listening to my monotone voice, are you listening? Are you getting sleepy? My meds are telling me I'm getting sleepy, which is good, because I will sleep and then I feel so guilty. I'm sorry. Plastic water bottles, plus from companies that take directly from the water table. But at the same time, it's been the easiest way for me to increase my water intake, and I was drinking quite a bit of water before the blood transfusion. I was meeting the goal for my I was meeting my water goal generally on a daily basis for at least, I don't know, for a few weeks there or so, and it could have been part of why I wasn't totally, you know, worse than I was. So it's especially important that I've been hydrating myself. That doesn't excuse it though. Like, I've watched so many documentaries. I follow a lot of environmental stuff, especially related to fracking. But the water issue is a big deal, especially in the States with all the droughts. But I mean, I can perceive in my lifetime water being something very expensive and having to be bought and possibly limited to very limited, because well, for one thing, we're polluting, and not just, I don't mean just like littering in the ocean, which is bad enough, including little beads of plastic that fall off of ships that are transporting it, but I mean as in we are poisoning our water wells and our underground, like our water through fracking and spills and stuff. Anyway, I don't mean to go on a tangent. It's just I can see some things possibly happening in my lifetime that are gonna where that isn't going to be like something that I'll be doing. Then again, we've been thinking about, not thinking, we're definitely getting a car. I've never been a fan of a car. I worked for an auto company, so maybe that's why. No, that's why I probably loved living in Toronto so much. It's because you definitely could justify not having a car because of transit. I loved that you could get around. Anyway, but living in my hometown, a car is, we need to be able to get out of town to visit places and see things and not go crazy. And so I'm accepting that we're gonna have a car, even though I realize like it's part of the problem. But then again, most everything we do is part of the problem. We've created a society based on petroleum, and we are in trouble because a lot of what we have well, I don't need to preach at you guys. If you're curious about any of that stuff, you can like read articles and science reports and watch documentaries yourself. I mean, oh goodness, the cats. Hearing me go on about it just makes me sound like a crazy person about this sort of thing, but I think about this stuff. It's just, you have to, I mean, we may as well enjoy a vehicle while we can, and especially if we're going to stay here, which is the biggest decision I've had to make in recent weeks. And I think what made me relent partially was my physical health. I being sick, so sick here. It's not like I'm going anywhere anyway, and even if I was living in the city that I love so much, I wouldn't be able to enjoy it. So there's that. And then there is financially, even though I lived there before, and if we never left, we'd still be there and it would work. I never wanted to pick comfort over culture or opportunities or happiness. I really do love Toronto. But I don't want to close myself off to what can be enjoyed here. I did live here before, and once my health is better and I can get out on a bicycle again for longer periods of time, and if I have a car, we can go to places and walk around and hike and bike and stuff, and attend events, I'm sure it will be easier. Make some improvements here that are more to make the apartment even more appealing. It's pretty nice as it is, but when the balcony construction is done, I wouldn't mind a table out, like a round table out there that's taller, that with a couple chairs and for coffee or sangrias. Yeah, right. you know, and maybe have some garden, like railing gardening, maybe maybe we'll decorate the divider with like fake vines or something. I don't know. And he can still have his chair spot where he enjoys his sunlight and his whiskey or whatever. I don't know. I guess I want to stop trying to be somewhere else and try to be where I am. What do I want to do? I want to write. And I'd love to go places and take pictures and share those in my blog, but I've always wanted to write, and writing, I don't know about publication, when I'll be ready for that. It could be years and years and years and years still. But it takes practice with writing, and writing I can do anywhere. I can do it here, you know? So it's just a matter of health improvement, become more active, get out there as much as I can. Try not to hold it against my hometown that it's kind of crappy, and look for the good parts of it and get out of town again. That was a big mind shift though, because I have been obsessive about moving back since I moved here. I have been obsessive about it. I'm still hopeful to have some money set aside just in case I can't handle it here anymore and I really want to move back, even if it means living in more in tougher financial, less comfortable ways. I would prefer that if it comes down to it than this. This isn't entirely the fault of just moving here. It seems that way, but it sounds like it is also partially a hormonal issue, and hopefully the thing that'll be done later today at the gyno appointment will make an improvement. And I'm hopeful, because the next step is apparently ablation, and then they don't want to do the hysterectomy unless they really have to. So hi, Lion Cat. Yeah? Yeah? She didn't play with you? Oh, poor Lion. Here. This is a Lion Cat. He used to have a best friend named Hagrid, who it's hard for me to talk about, who I miss a lot. And they were best friends for like 12 years or something. They were together a long time, 11 years or so. And they would play and cuddle and fight and play and groom each other and be nice and be friends and shut each other up when they were annoying, and they were good buds. And now Lion has a younger black cat female who apparently has been traumatized in her childhood. Either she was taken away from the litter too young to learn how to play with other cats. That's probably one thing that we've figured out, because she has no idea what It's like she'd never seen a cat before, and she has no idea how to play with him. And 2, she is traumatized and thinks he will hurt her. And 3, she's really extremely possessively protective of her man and jealous. So we keep our bedroom door closed because that's where she's taken out some jealousy. But that meant that I had to get used to Lion not being able to be with me, and he's like been with me forever, and he's been able to do whatever he wants, like sleep where he wants, and he's not been a problem. And it's, it's nice to have the bedroom closed off to ourselves, and it's healthier, they say, but I still feel sad, like, because at night Lion will want to play, and she doesn't know how to play with him. She'll go hiss and hiss and hiss and hide under the coffee table, and he won't get at her. And yet she knows he won't hurt her, because she will eat near him. She will be on the couch near him, not beside him like in the early days on of when she was like trying to figure out what he was, but she will be in vicinity of him. She's not she's not terrified of him, but she's aggressive, and she does still think he'll hurt her, but he doesn't. She doesn't have front claws. We didn't do that. She doesn't have front claws, but he has his claws. He could totally, like, hurt her, and he's never hurt her. He's had some of her fur in his claws before when he's tried to get at her, but he's never wounded her, which he could easily do. Like times where she's laying on the couch, he could totally go and attack her, and he never does because he's a sweet cat. I saw him looking up at her the one day. She's like on the arm of the couch looking down at him, like really watching him. And he's looking up at her, and he's just like cocking his head and looking at her, kind of like trying to figure out, like, why don't you like me? Why won't you play with me? Why won't you be like a cat? And oh no, I am going to tear up. A photo that shows up in my Flickr stats from time to time, I don't know why, it must be something that shows up when people search for one thing or another, is a picture of Lion beside Hagrid, and it's their backs, and they're sitting in front of the balcony door of the apartment, the 1-bedroom apartment I had in this building, a couple floors up. And they're both looking out the window, the big balcony doors. And that's something that these two don't get to do. And yet they look so pretty together. Like, if she only would, like, maybe it'll take a really long time, but it's already been since the end of December of 2012. Maybe it could be years, and then she'll finally accept him. I think she'd miss him if he was gone. But he's getting up there, and I worry, like, that he won't get a chance to feel love. I'm so weird. Because I've had issues with cats way in the past where I've had to make hard choices, and here I've been good to my cats for quite a while now and try to do the best for them. And joining these two cats was not a planned thing, and it worked out better than we were told it would based on what he was told about the cat and why my partner took the cat in as a rescue cat. He was told that cat could not associate with anybody, but the cat's been fine. Like, we keep the bedroom door closed. It's never done anything else anywhere, except they both vomit a lot, but whatever. They're both great cats. She can actually be pretty adorable. She's really loving to me when he's not here, when my partner isn't here. Other than that, she can be a bit more fighty. But she's wonderful. And like, I guess I relate to her, which sounds really weird, but maybe it's because, like, the whole trauma thing, I kind of, like, totally get it. Um, but I, I have tears in my eyes because I'm all, like, emotional and tired. But I just would love it if they could be curled up together. That she could feel how big and fluffy and warm Lion is, and how soft and kind he is. And she could be warm and curled up and cuddly, and he could feel, you know, that too. Like, because he was so used to a cat that he could be like that with. I have in my on my Flickr, like, a set of for cats of, and there were so many of Hagrid and Lion. Hagrid was such a good soul, such a good soul. Hagrid was so, I I loved Hagrid so much. I wish he never gotten sick. It was so hard. It was such a loss. But then if I still had him and everything had happened like it happened, and we'd ended up here, we would have had 3 cats, and one would have been the traumatized cat with 2 cats that are used to each other and bonded, and that might have been even more terrifying for the black kitty cat, Miss Kitty Meow. So I don't know, things happen how they happen, but I guess I feel sad if Lion gets older and older and older and never gets to have a full playmate again, like full play cat. I don't know. It's weird. They share litter boxes and space and toys, so she picks and chooses when she's gonna be freaking out, I guess. Rent is paid already for next month. Paid down on Monday. I'm waiting for a pay this week, and I'll pay our cell phones. I wish the pay had arrived today, because what it means is, because we didn't plan money, we didn't save it. It means taking the bus tomorrow to the hospital, which I'm not. The bus here in this town sucks. I end up shaking so badly by the time I get off it. It's very anxiety inducing, but it's certainly a lot cheaper than taking a cab. And I'm not walking that distance. I'm just talking. Sorry, guys. Nobody listening to me anymore. What else was... things I really want to do. I'm really looking forward to having health back. If I can get my health back, like my physical health, at least, have energy to force my husband to go outside with me. It's not that he wouldn't, it's just, it's really easy for him, because I'd be like, I want to go out and do something. He's like, okay, get dressed. And he knows I won't, because I really, either I'm too sick or I just don't, my anxiety, my agoraphobic stuff won't let me. But anyway, so this is why this would be great if tomorrow's insertion of the device helps make a difference in my life, so that the next time some vlogger heads go and say, hey, we're willing to drive several hours out of our way when we're coming through the States to see you, I can say yes instead of be like, no, because I'm bleeding to death. I don't want to be sick every time I miss out on opportunities like that to connect with people, meet people. And one of the things we hope for when we have a vehicle, is to plan out a trip through the states ourselves, where we see some things and go some places over a great length of time. Not a great length of time, a few weeks. I can hear Lion like cleaning his claws. You know, when he bites his nails, it's so annoying. But I don't hear the outside hum anymore. I outlasted the hum. Okay. Yeah, I feel pretty tired. I'm nervous. You know, I'm covered in pimples. Sorry, they were worse. Like this one was like explosion, and I'm fat and whatever, guys. But I'm so nervous. Like I when I received the call the day before, I was told it would be July, which is still really early to see a specialist because sometimes you have a 6-month wait apparently. But when I was told it'd be July, I was like, oh gosh, like I could end up with another blood transfusion by July. Like I don't want to go through that. But I really don't have a choice because the other gyno they were recommending to me was the one I didn't want that I saw already that kind of fat shamed me. And I'm not saying I totally accept I am obese at this point. But I don't need to feel that on top of, I don't need to be treated that way on top of it because it just feeds the depression and anxiety, and that's not what I'm there for. I'm there for handling this problem of like bleeding to death. Please just help, you know, don't make me feel like crap about something that I clearly already have issues about. That's not gonna make anything better. But anyway, side note. So it was that, or again, being told to go to London. London is a nearby city, London, Ontario. It's like a $50 cab ride there, and a $50 cab ride back, or 45. It depends, like $100, and it's just sort of like ridiculous. Cabs are really expensive in this city as well. Compared to like Toronto, where cabs aren't as expensive and you can go further distances. Anyway, the point is that no, I don't want to go to that city for a possible sooner appointment. I want to deal with somebody here, and especially since there's going to be some follow-up. So I was willing to wait, and then I find out it's tomorrow or today, and now I'm like, I'm really anxious because I'm going to go outside today. I didn't get paid yet. I might be paid by the time I get home. Look at this. I got that line above my and you know, just the procedure itself, which is easy, what I'm told. Like slight pain for the slightest moment is fine. It's just, I hope it works. I really hope it works. This time when I received the blood transfusion, I was admitted and I had a hospital bed. Like in a hospital room. A semi-private, which when I received a call from the hospital to straighten out the insurance stuff, she was saying that I requested it, but it wasn't. It was something in the emerge room that the doctor that was seeing me first said that she was going to admit me, put me in a room for my comfort, because blood transfusions take a long time, and they have to there's waiting first before the blood, for the blood to arrive from London to St. Thomas, and then for testing the blood against my own blood to see if it will, to hope that it won't have a negative reaction, and then there's transfusing the blood, which can vary in length of time depending on how quickly they're sending it in, and then there's the wait when they take the blood after the transfusion to see what your numbers are. In any case, I could have stayed longer, but I was out of there at 3 something in the morning. I wanted to be out of the hospital as soon as possible. As comfortable as they made me, and as great a room as it was, and everything, I just wanted to get home. I wasn't prepared to be admitted, but I'm glad that I was, because the previous time getting a blood transfusion there was really uncomfortable, and it was in the emergency room, where they were seeing people were divided by the curtains. It was 4 or 5 or 6 different ones, and the beds were putting your legs over the side. There was metal, and the chairs were really crappy for anyone, and it was really uncomfortable for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many hours was it there? 2 until 1:30 in the morning. It was really uncomfortable. So yeah, I totally loved that they were much more attentive this time. They examined me. They immediately took me back. Instead of taking blood at the front and then making me wait and emerge, they took me back, and then took my blood and immediately put the IV into me, and then had me all ready for when there would be a transfusion. And then they examined me, which was really a surprise, because they didn't do it last time. And then blah 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 blah. They were just, I guess it's more serious, and basically it came across as, well, I think even one of them, I think it was mentioned, they said they were giving me blood that day, but they don't want to keep doing it because of the risk. And I don't want to keep having them. I mean, are you kidding me? I don't want to keep suffering prior to cause it, and it's no quality of life, and I don't want to have to drag my butt to the hospital. Just thinking of my husband, holding my arm, trying to walk me across me needing to stop for air, and just being so tired. So I didn't talk about too much, but I talked a lot. In monotone. Can't believe it's only a couple months less, well, not very long until it's my birthday. So much for losing a whole bunch of weight by my birthday. That was one of my goals, of course, was to be able to wear my cool t-shirts by my birthday. Now my goal is to not be bleeding. Just getting older. It's not like this is gonna be getting prettier. Just what a waste of time. It seems, you know, the birds are up at like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning right now. They're so excited about spring. They're a better sound than the machine. But I can hear them out in the trees. There's trees right up front here. Only a couple, but more than enough for it. Yeah, I want to get out there and take photographs. I want to participate in life beyond retweets on Twitter. Retweet all these things and then nobody knows that then I'm ending up sleeping. Nightmares. Oh, like I have PTSD and like form of it from everything that's happened. You throw that word around it sounds like it shouldn't apply to people who aren't combatants, but I've been in fight or flight mode forever. And it was something I had wanted to talk to the psychiatrist about, was the intensity and increased nightmares that I've had to deal with, especially with more sleeping due to the tiredness from bleeding. So every time I've laid down for a nap, that could be who knows how long, I've had these really vivid, horrible nightmares every time. So that's been part of a hard thing to deal with. It used to be I could write down my dreams and even the scary ones and, well, type them up from my journal, whatever. But I don't hold on to them as long now because I go to the washroom and some of it stays with me, but I'm not a big fan of all the nightmares that I've had. I probably had more nightmares in the past few months while struggling with this, with the heavy bleeding, because my energy's so low that I'm not passing out on the floor, close, like dizziness, but I'm getting myself to bed, and I hate it. I hate missing, even if I'm a shut-in, I hate missing the time I could be reading or watching documentaries or watching or listening to good music or writing, or did I mention reading? I mentioned reading, or anything. I miss being able to do stuff. And so much of my life has been, well, during the major depressions episodes that I've had, especially in my 20s, lots of sleeping. And then this, like, it's great that anxiety is the most prevalent thing right now that I struggle with, as opposed to depression, because depression can be a spiral to, like, suicidal thoughts, of course. And I have been very fortunate that hasn't been a thing for me for a few years now. Quite so much. But to still have such horrible dreams. And worse, to not have the energy to write about them. Like, I used to be able to deal with the dreams best by, like, okay, well, this is like, I can write this. I think, like, I don't feel creative in my writing. My writing is very, it's journal entries, you know? It's about my thoughts and feelings and what's going on, and it's kind of it's not very vibrant for a long time. It's off and on, you know? It's come and go with my state of mind. But when I used to be able to write my dreams, it was like the closest I could get to creative writing. Except it wasn't like it was all from my brain. It was all from my head. So it was but yet I could write these fantastical things because my brain thinks these things, like, when I'm dreaming. And I have those continuous, like, I have those all the time. But I'm not able to write them down, and it's so frustrating. And I know about keeping a notebook at your bedside, etc., etc., etc. But once I'm awake, either sometimes the dreams are so horrible that, like, I have to get out of the room right away and get to the washroom or whatever I gotta do, or I just I don't know. I just an hour and 2 minutes. Could it be that I am procrastinating about going to bed? Because I know I have to be at an appointment that I feel anxious about because it's all of a sudden tomorrow, which is needed, but I'm not looking forward to it. And I feel so tired. And you're like, well, it's 4:20 in the morning. Of course you're tired. Well, no, actually, you would think that I wouldn't be tired because I slept most of the day. But these days I sleep much of the day, off and on, and at night. And what's really bad about, like, before the transfusion, this recent transfusion, especially, every time I would nap, it's not napping, every time I would crash or sleep and get up, each time I would get more and more irritable every single time I got up. Every single time I got up, I got more and more irritable and angry, and it was the worst feeling every single time. And I'd still sleep at night as well. But I mean, I'm just saying it wasn't restful, and I got so fat. But apparently, PCOS or something, maybe. Everybody's guessing. Makes sense though, considering symptoms. and treated. Let's just hope that things are better. I wanna I've got enough um limitations on things that I can do and enjoy, like even as outgoing as I could be and the places I could go and want to do, participate activities I want to participate in. I can I can do them, but then I'm gonna deal with consequences afterward. Like tiredness for days and um, spent emotional energy just being around other people, and I just I guess I don't. I still want to try. I still want to have at least that. So this is what my hair does when I haven't combed it through. It's kind of pretty. It's kind of pretty. These colors. Which ones are mine? I guess just this dulling darkness and whiteness. Look at that. My hair is getting really long at the back, and I'm so happy. Like, this isn't my full mane, it's wet hair still, and it's doing this let's look curly thing or whatever. But um I'm getting my mane back, and it feels a really good part of my identity. And at the back, my hair reaches, and this without me putting my hair back. In fact, I'll put my hair forward. It reaches past the middle of my back, and if I go this way, you can almost touch the top of. It's good. It's like, this is how I want my hair to keep going. Wow. Things don't matter. I don't vlog for a long time, and then I see my double chin. I hate how disgusted I am by my appearance. And it's not to say that I'm not. I am obese. I am fat. I am overweight. I am past overweight at this point. I do need to lose weight. It's a medical fact. But I'm not like bound for any TLC freak show series. I'm not. And yet I judge myself so badly. Like, having anxiety plus body issues, and I've always had body issues. Like, well, not always, but they've been bad, like, in my adulthood. Like, even 30, 40 pounds less ago, I had body issues. And not, and then I was only fat as opposed to obese. And I had curves then, which was nice, like pretty curves. But now, like remembering going we went to the bank the other day to get the rent, and then walking through the dead mall. They, because of the year, it was made as like mirrors in weird places, like thin mirrors where like a corner, like a corner stone, like a corner beam would be or whatever. And I see myself in it. I saw myself. And I say such horrible things out loud. I said, how could you let me leave the house knowing that I look like this? How could I go outside looking like this? How could people see me like this? I'm disgusting, fat pig, etc., etc. And this dialogue, this inner dialogue is worse. And what comes out, what's said is so bad. And it doesn't change anything in that moment. And whether some kids stare at me or not, like, or people or whatever judge me, doesn't. Not that they are, like, there's people bigger than me, there's people smaller than me. I hate how hard I am on myself. And I've had boyfriends, lovers, who, even when I was, like I said, much less, say, you're too hard on yourself, you make it, you're just horrible to yourself. And they didn't like hearing me say that stuff about myself. And I can't seem to help it. And what a waste of time, like, because now at this weight, I'm like wishing I could go back and tell the me of 30, 40 pounds ago, hey, don't sweat it. You can wear those cool, cute t-shirts that make, your boobs look great in them. You got a slight curve, you got an indent of hip, waist, whatever. You're good. You're not a skinny girl or anything, but you know what? You lose a little bit more, get a little active, get healthy. You'll be fine. Don't worry about, just love how you are right now, because girl, you're good. You're good enough. Gosh darn it, you're good enough. And now, after not being able to wear all those clothes anymore, having shirts I never have even gotten the chance to wear that we bought last year. We bought brand new shirts off the internet, and they're awesome, cool shirts that, the geeky, good shirts that suit me. I haven't been able to wear them yet, and I'm sad because my clothes don't reflect who I am. And I'm not a clothes person. I mean, I'm a buy books first, buy music. Oh, okay. I'll end on one note. I bet you thought this would never end. There's that quote about when I have a little money, I buy books, and if I have any left, I buy I don't know, clothes and food or something. You know the one. It's just a famous old quote. I have it quoted exactly, but I'm not going to search it up. Well, somebody who was pestering me and writing me said they were concerned because they thought it was something either I was saying or that I totally took the quote into. They didn't get it that books were important to me and that I would buy books first before I would spend it on clothes. But I do not I pay bills first. I pay bills, and I have always done this for quite some time now. I pay rent. I make sure rent's paid early. I pay the bills that are to be paid. Food, well, we know more than enough food. Clothing, I totally admit I did not care about my wardrobe forever because clothes were not, I've never been a fashionista because I grew up very, very poor. I never had the clothes, the trends. I never learned makeup. I never learned any of that shit. I didn't care about that stuff. So my interests, especially as an adult, whenever I've had money, I've put the money into my interests, which would be books, music, which includes at one point a CD collection, but now is a vinyl collection, which is a combination of vinyl I'd owned since I was young anyway, because it was from my dad and my own yard sailing and my own, I built a vinyl collection, which hopefully I'll have a shelf that will show that vinyl collection soon. And more recently, the past year, way too much iTunes music downloads because that's the medium I'm using the most for listening to music at this time. So, music and books have been my indulgence. But that doesn't mean I'm neglecting bills. Bills are paid first. In fact, I have a black book and I make sure we are paying our bills on time. Like, for the most part, we've slipped up a few times when we've messed up dates, but I'm getting back. I've had to learn that I have to be the one keeping track of the book to make sure we're doing it on the weeks we need to. But yeah, I don't know. People jump to conclusions. But the first time that I did get into clothing more recently was like all these geek shirts and awesome shirts, like really cool shirts. And I can't wear them yet, so I really want to wear them. Just so you don't look like this. You can't really tell, but you know I'm in a nightgown. I'm in a fat person nightgown. It's not me. What will my look be if I lost the weight I wanted to lose? It would be the jeans still. I'd still get cool jeans. I'd like jeans with t-shirts. Probably go back to my cargo pants again. I really liked those they were awesome. I would love to wear dresses. All sorts of different sizes of dresses. The looks that I liked most were, and you can tell I'm from the 90s, the looks I liked most were grunge, but clean grunge. So, the flannel and the band t-shirts and comfortable, and so I probably would revert back to that for sure, like awesome. And I like, there's also this hippie part of me that would totally love the dresses. It kind of goes with the flowy part of me, like the flowy lioness. I would love to have. I'm daydreaming. I'm daydreaming about clothes. So see, it's not like I'm totally. Shoe wear, I'm not. I've never been big on shoes. I like my Doc Martens. That's from being a factory girl. I liked, because I had to have steel toe boots, and I just always liked Doc Martens. Since then, I've really enjoyed them, but they're probably pretty heavy on the feet. I like wearing sandals in the summer, but I haven't had a decent pair of sandals for a few years. I really like cool sandals, like more like the ones that cover, that are, I don't know how to describe them. I like the ones that are not thin strapped or whatever. I like sandals. You'll know, I'll see cool sandals when I see them. Hopefully I can find a good pair of sandals this summer. Because I prefer being barefoot most of the time, so sandals are the next coolest thing, and Doc Martens just are great shoes all year round for me, for stuff when I leave the house. Other than that, I'm not a shoes person. Like, I don't, right now I only have the Doc Martens and a pair of sandals from last summer that kind of suck, but they were the best I could get around here. So see, I'm not like I noticed one other thing that happens when I lose weight, which clearly isn't happening yet. I wear jewelry. I wear bracelets. I love bracelets. I love necklaces. I used to love earrings. I used to have earrings. And I would probably get pierced ears again just to go with some cool earrings again. Earrings aren't, I don't know. I don't know what kind of earrings I would get. But I like earrings again. I used to be a good earrings person when my weight's down, and I want to wear the necklaces. And I have some beautiful necklaces, and I love to wear bracelets. And the biggest thing to lose weight for would be to fit my wedding ring and engagement ring on again, or a wedding ring, because I don't like how uncomfortable it feels on my finger because it's too fat, and I don't like it looking so bulgy, sausagey. So my rings are in my Sorrento wooden music box for now, with my husband's understanding. So thankful about that. He don't know me. Okay. But, it's not that I didn't want to wear it. It's just, I'm not going to put myself through that discomfort when, So, when I'm doing well, that's what I picture. I picture being able to wear t-shirts and jeans with probably cut off at the bottom, frayed at the bottom, because I am so short that jeans never fit me properly and I have to cut the legs, which is cool because then I like how they get all stringy and frayed, and I like that. And it especially looks cool with the Doc Martens, but it looks cool with sandals too. And I just want to wear my bracelets and be all groovy, relaxed, and identify. It sounds all materialistic, but it's not. It's not like I want to be a freaking princess here. I just want to express who, my bohemianism, my slash throwback ness. I want to do that. I just want to express me in various ways. Expression seems to be something I really want to do. Maybe because of being silenced at different points of my life, and of a long time period of not knowing exactly what my identity was, or how to express myself given poverty restraints and not fitting in, and not feeling confident in myself with my interests. to be able to express like this is who I am and I'm into this and I'm getting older and I'm certainly in a place where just the weight get the health taken care of, get the weight off, and that'll happen. Thanks for listening to this really vain sounds so stupid, but I had wanted to feel pretty, even despite wanting to feel pretty by the time I was a certain age. Just like I want to be a writer. Now I'm like, I hit the age, I hit 35 and I wasn't, my weight was out of control last year to now, and I didn't get to be the weight I wanted to be when I got to travel. Weight was definitely, it didn't stop me from walking for a zillion hours everywhere I could go and taking 5,000 pictures, but it was uncomfortable and I didn't want to be in pictures, and that sucks. And I know there were women bigger than me that were like, I don't care, look at me. But I'm so neurotic that it affected me. And I think that if we do get to go on another trip, I hope I'm the me that I as close to or accepting. Because I don't want to, like, now my goal is, well, I hope by the time I'm 40 that I look like sort of that I look better. Meanwhile, time is gonna go against me. Like, there are beautiful women at 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. I mean, there are gorgeous women now. Of course, a lot of them have money and riches, or they took very good care of themselves and avoided a lot of health issues. And I have none of that going for me. But I would really love to settle, as I age, settle into some sort of graceful, wild beauty. I don't know how to say that. I'm never going to be a beauty, but me, like the best me. Like, I guess it comes down to, like, I have been denied being me for so long, and I've self-punished myself and sabotaged a lot of it, and it's a shame because these are, the best youngest years are gone, the 20s are gone, and now the 30s are slipping away, and life begins at 40. I remember the song. And let's hope so, but hopefully it might begin before then. Would be good. Because it's like part of your expression is your body as well, and I would like to enjoy it more and be kinder to it and appreciate it more and not be so at war with it, because clearly it's not working. I'm not winning the war if I'm having multiple blood transfusions and berating myself in public over, yeah. Wow. Okay, so an hour and a half sounds like long enough. If you listen to all this, thanks. If not, it's okay too.